Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Steffi, aka In My Humble Opinion, and today is day one. It's travel day. Currently, it is 4:52 a.m. Our shuttle is gonna be picking us up here at about like 5:20-ish. Our flight leaves at 10:30, I believe. We are going to be flying from LA to Manila. Yeah. Okay, I need to share with you guys the ridiculousness that just occurred. So, this is like already a side. Okay, I booked a shuttle for my family, and my mom specifically said 4 luggages. I know this because I'm a competent person, and I booked the shuttle, and we booked it for 4 people, and we were gonna have my grandma was supposed to come here and meet at a certain time. Grandma's not here, and it turns out we actually have 8 pieces of luggage. So when the super shuttle that was supposed to come to our house, he arrived and he saw how many boxes we had. He said, "Oh my god, I don't know if this is gonna fit," and then they made it fit, but then my grandma wasn't here. So I just basically told them to go without me, and I'm going to wait for my aunt to come bring my grandma, and then I have to break the news to them that they've left without us to the airport, and I have to make my aunt drive me and my grandma to the airport. So the way that the super shuttle works is this guy comes and he kind of picks several people up, and then once the bus is full, he goes to the airport. So he had 2 more stops to make. He was running late already, and literally if any of those people have luggage, which they probably do to go to the airport, their luggage isn't going to fit. So yeah, great start to this wonderful trip. I'm just here by my lonesome, like legit here by myself. So, oh, my dad is calling me. This is gonna be great. Hello? Yeah, I'm fine here. I'm just standing here by myself. It's fine. So do you just wait? So my dad just hung up on me. Yep, just here casually by myself. Let me call my dad again. So when Titaboki comes, I'm gonna tell her we have to drive to LAX, but exactly where in LAX is she gonna be driving to? Yeah, Mom, I'm just standing here waiting for Titaboki. I haven't told her yet because I don't want to bother her. I think this might be her coming, so I probably have to tell her right now. Okay. They left. I just said to just leave me behind, so can you drive to the airport?
Oh, okay, come on, let's go.
Okay. Oh.
Hold on.
I can just sit there. Okay. Hello, Terry.
Hello,
good morning.
Hindi nagising. I didn't know you jumped.
Okay, it's China Airlines. So we've officially made it at LAX. I'm just waiting for my parents. So my grandma and I actually got here before my parents since they took a super shuttle. So that's why we're here first. We're here early. I'm just waiting. The California sky is beginning to brighten. It's currently 7 a.m., 6:56 a.m., but it's practically 7. Man, what a way to start the trip, man. What a way.
Smoking is permitted in designated areas only. Please refrain from smoking while walking throughout the building.
I'm currently at the international terminal. That's the Tom Bradley International Terminal at LAX. It is currently 3:54 in the morning. And you may be asking, well, Steffi, wasn't your flight supposed to leave at 10:30 a.m.? Well, kids, I have a story to tell you. So basically what happened was after the whole shuttle debacle, I got here with my grandma at around like 6:37-ish. We got here before my parents because they took the super shuttle, and everything after the shuttle debacle seemed to be going okay. And then we got in line here. This is where we lined up to get our boarding passes. We were flying Air China. Whenever you fly an international flight, or maybe any flight, but especially an international flight, your bag has to weigh a certain amount. And my family, we weighed our bags, and apparently my grandma's bag was a little overweight. So we literally were like fumbling around here ish, and we had to undo my grandma's suitcase and transfer some of her weight over to my mom's suitcase, because then my grandma's suitcase could be on the plane. So after that, my mom goes to hand over to the lady over here, goes to hand over her passport to the lady. I've received my boarding pass. My dad has received his boarding pass. My grandma has received her boarding pass. When my mom goes to give the lady her passport so she could get her boarding pass, there was a discrepancy. So to give a little context. So in the Filipino tradition, your middle name is usually your mom's last name. So before my mom got married, my mom's name was Annie Reyes Villarreal. But then my mom got married, and then she became Annie Villarreal and then my last name. My mom didn't realize that when she gave over her passport, her middle name was still Reyes. But then when she bought the tickets for our flight and was about to get the boarding pass said her middle name was completely different. So boarding pass says Annie Villarreal last name, passport says Annie Reyes last name. Well, Air China is really strict and everything has to match 100%. So at this point, they ask us to step aside to let other passengers get their boarding pass while they try figuring out what to do. So we waited and we waited, and then we waited some more until finally my mom approached the, I guess, supervising manager over here that handles Air China's affairs at LAX, and they said that they just could not let my mom on the flight because the name on the passport did not match the name on the boarding ticket. And so there was obviously going to be no way in hell my dad and I and my grandma were going to get on that flight without my mom. So on the last minute, they had to literally cancel all of our tickets. They had to get the luggage and the boxes that we had already checked in out of the plane. And then essentially we had to figure out how in the hell we were going to get to the Philippines. Even though, yes, we were able to cancel our tickets and yes, we were able to be refunded, it still wasn't a 100% refund. And even at that, it's gonna take about 60 days for the money to be fully refunded. And then on top of that, my mom was charged a cancellation fee because she canceled last minute. So at around 12-ish, my mom had called a travel agency and the travel agency had found a flight for us. However, the flight was going to be the next day at about 8:45 a.m. And when my mom went to go pay for the tickets, she then realized that she didn't have enough money in her account and she had to sort of transfer funds from different accounts in order to afford, the new tickets. But of course, with the luck we've had so far, my mom can't just transfer on her own because she needs to get the approval of her broker. And when we went to go call my mom's broker, we got my mom's broker's voicemail, and it just so happens, because it's January 2nd, now it's technically January 3rd, but it just so happens that, of course, my mom's broker is on vacation. So here we are with tickets, but we can't afford the tickets because my mom doesn't have enough funds in her account. So then, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm talking a lot, and I honestly wish I would have filmed all of this going down as it happened, but things were just so chaotic that, I don't know, I felt like it just would have been too much of a hassle to get out my camera and be like, oh, well, let me film the action. So then my mom and I thought, okay, what if we go to Chase Banks? That's the bank that my mom banks at. And of course, with our continued luck, there is no Chase ATM at LAX. There's only a Bank of America at LAX, which meant we had to find a Chase outside of the airport. So I Googled, where's the nearest Chase? With the car, it's about 12 minutes, but we didn't take a car to the airport, we took a shuttle. So how long does it take for us to walk to Chase? Oh, about 30 minutes. So my mom and I, we make our way from LAX airport to Chase. And we're walking and I'm following Google Maps. Then Google Maps tells me, make a left here, Steffi. Well, Google Maps, that's kind of weird because there is no designated crosswalk for me to take a left. I don't know if you guys have ever used Google Maps like for just walking purposes, but they don't really acknowledge the fact that
current members of the military and their family members.
Do you know how many times I've heard this? So then I'm like, Mom, I don't think we're gonna get there by walking. It's asking us to make a left, like right literally into the middle of the street where there are cars just zooming by because this is LAX. And then my mom and I have literally walked from the international terminal all the way to the very end. So then this is when I feel like God probably felt a little bit sorry for us. We just so happened to run into Officer Norwood. Officer Norwood, who works at LAX, is like literally the best officer. He sees that my mom and I look a little bit confused, and he basically walks us out into the area where there are crosswalks, and he tells us the direction of how to get to where we need to go. And then he says, you know what, let me drive you there. So he literally, and it just so happened to like correlate with his lunch break, but he literally got in his car and allowed my mom and I to get in his car with him, and he drove us to Chase, and he really didn't have to do that. So after the kind officer who works at LAX did that, we went to Chase, and there was a problem because of course they couldn't clear my mom's transferring of funds because the broker is on vacation. So then we had to come back to LAX, and then I don't really remember what happened because I fell asleep at this point, because again, I haven't at this point literally slept all day because I didn't go to sleep the night before because I thought I would be able to sleep on the plane ride at 10:30 a.m. But long story short, we had to go to Chase again, and then we came back, and after making several calls, we now have a flight to Manila. But the problem is, well, not really the problem, but what that entailed is we had to essentially stay the night here at LAX, hence why this is a very long-winded way of me getting to the point. Hence why I had to stay the night at LAX, because the flight that we booked no longer 8:45 in the morning. It isn't until 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I hope this made sense. If it didn't, I'll probably just put like title cards to explain what happened. But yeah, that's basically the gist of what happened. By the time we get there in the Philippines, it's gonna be Thursday in the evening, and we should be getting there at around like 10ish, but our flight from Manila to the province where we're supposed to be going isn't until Friday the next day, so we have to spend another night at the airport. But I mean, nights here at LAX in the international terminal, they really aren't that bad. Oh look, my mother's awake. She looks a little confused. Yeah. Another sleepy folk. More sleepy folk. Another sleepy folk. Place cards here. Perfect. Just typical LAX 4:30 in the morning behavior right there.
I got a friend who's a Hampton.
Wow. Yeah, get that eyelid. Get that eyelid. You know they're going to the Philippines when you see a balikbayan box like that. And like these. There. These are called balikbayan boxes.
Then Manila, 2 p.m.
8:32 to 8:42.
It's right there. It's right there.
Airlines.
It's right.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's where we'll be then.
Kalibo lang.
Outside here, right? This is only
Ito,
Dallas.
kasi kailangan niya i-attach yung receipt. Tama.
Okay, salamat.
Ito hapon na sabi. Grabe naman.
Mabuhay! We are finally leaving. We're walking to the gate. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if the officer is going to allow you to be recording them either.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I think it's best if you put her off.